hole 2 unsuccessful, hole 3 perhaps successful. So here's the kicker to the whole thing. I'm now married to a lovely dwarf, and and who you have to believe in order for her powers to. This is a Tinkerbell. Okay, anyway. And we were for years we were trying to have a kid, and we had a very difficult time having a kid. By the way, it was like really not easy for us, and we did the regular way, which was fun but uneventful at the end, and then we went through IVF, and that didn't work. And then, do you want to hear this story?
We love it. We love it.
It's a pretty sweet story, actually. So we went through. So we tried raw dog fucking for a while, which is the clinical term, just blasting in the sugar walls, and that's what the doctor called it.
Yeah.
And that didn't work. And and then we went through IVF, which is so hardcore. It's like, for the woman, it's so gnarly. Like, I was like fucking injecting Natasha's ass with like syringes every night, and like her whole butt was black and blue, and
my God.
and she was hormonal and like crying, and it was just really hard. And it was to try to harvest these eggs. It's like you're like or some kind of like alien organism. It's like some farm or whatever. It's like back to Mobius. Yeah. And then they couldn't harvest them, and she had these eggs that were frozen. That she had, Natasha's set was all about like I'll never be pregnant for long, or having a baby is like a DUI from the universe. These are like a theme of her stand up. For some weird reason, she had frozen five eggs or 8 eggs before she met me, before we started dating, and so we were trying to get these harvested eggs, and the doctor kept saying, like, don't use the frozen eggs. Don't use the frozen eggs. And I remember this conversation. I remember, by the way, he sat down, he had hair plugs and a vape in his pocket. It's a little sketchy for a doctor.
Get a new doctor.
Yeah. Although I did go to a doctor recently, and he was like, do you smoke? And I was like, no, I vape. He's like, oh, that's cool. I was like, what? I've been waiting for that. That's exactly what I've been waiting for. Anyway, this doctor was like, you don't want to use the frozen eggs. You got to think of the frozen eggs as like your savings account, right? And what we're trying to harvest, that's like building up your checking account. And I was like thinking to myself, like, please do not use a bank account metaphor in this most expensive. It was like $10,000 around. Like, it was so gnarly.
Wow.
And he's like, think of it. I was like, oh, an analogy, your savings, I guess, your life savings. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
No, anyway, we finally gave up, and we decided to do the eggs, and the frozen eggs, and we thawed them out, and it was 8 eggs, and 4 of them survived.
Do you do it at home? How do you?
Yeah, you put it in the microwave, and then
I see.
And then you nut on the little holder.
Right.
So you know that the ones that survive, when you do it at home, you know the ones that survive and the ones that don't, because the ones that don't survive, there's like a sort of a death scream.
Right.
And you're like, okay,
they're like sea monkeys. You put them in water, the sunlight, and we'll just see what happens. Yeah, okay. We'll see what happens.
No, you don't do it at home. You do it.
You don't.
They do it.
Yeah.
So they thawed them, and only 4 survived out of 8. Now we're down to 4.
Oh my God.
Then they tested them all for different stuff.
Yeah.
And only 2 survived. Now we're down to 2. And then we implanted one, and it failed. And so now we're down to 1. And we're kind of, at this point, we're going like, you know what? Fuck it. Adopt or just go to Europe. Spend our lives having fun, like you guys, like having a good time. Like it was almost sort of like there was something kind of relieving about it in a way. It was like, well, we'll just be like people without kids and have fun and just whatever. Then we implanted the last one, and that's our daughter, right?
Oh.
And it's like it feels miraculous in a way. And they were telling her, by the way, they're like, it's like 40%. It's like a set at the Comedy Store. That's what they said. It's like a set at the Tommy era Comedy Store. That's how likely this will work.
Yeah.
And now we have this like super awesome kid that's like funny and talking, and she's making jokes, and she's great.
Because the last time I talked to you guys about your kid was when she wasn't talking.
Right.
Now
we're not calling her he, she.
Right. It's a girl?
It is. It's a girl.
What's her name?
That we're not saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Sweets. Let's call her Sweets.
Sweets, yeah.
So Sweets was not talking, all that stuff, but then now Sweets is communicating?
Totally. And
in what way?
And like funny. Like I guess it was doomed to be funny, but like she cracks jokes and stuff. Like it's kind of. I mean, they're not good yet, you know what I mean? But it's like, and she likes attention. She likes to like run up to the front of a group and kind of do a thing, and like she's clearly got a performer bug in her.
Right.
I'm not stoked. But, I would have preferred like, oh wow, a scientist. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like she's a bit of a performer. She's awesome. She's great. But
is the fake, because I've heard dudes say, or women say, yeah, the beginning is rough, right? But then once they start communicating, it becomes more not meaningful, but like it just becomes funner.
Well, it's definitely a lot funner. And for the first like year, it's kind of like you just have a slug. Like it's just like a little flesh slug that you have to keep alive, because then you have like murder charges if you don't. Come on, slug.
Yeah.
But and it's cute and stuff. Thank God they say babies are cute so that we won't just be like, fuck that. I'm going to Europe. You know what I mean? Like, but then they start talking. But then I was thinking about this the other day. You know how boring children are? Like how it's unbelievable how boring they are. Yeah. Like you can't believe the conversation. You're like, you get me? Like you want to die when you talk to a kid.
Yeah.
Like there's this beautiful kind of like mathematics of emotional connection to your baby, because like the only person that could ever care about a conversation with a baby that's going like, me like purple, daddy drink coffee. The two of you, if you heard that, be like, fucking yeah, daddy drink coffee. Do you have anything else to say, dumbass?
Yeah.
I am fascinated by it, because I remember her when she was like, so I see like, whoa, you say daddy drink coffee now?
Wow.
Like you used to just
amazing.
like shit and puke. Like it's like parents are like coded to think that it's interesting, because to me it's fucking fascinating, because I've seen every little strand of development.
Do you look for, because I hear dudes go, because Kalala and I we've been talking about
we're at an impasse.
Wait, let me guess who wants them and who doesn't.
I want them.
Wait, actually,
you don't?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, you thought the other way?
Yeah, kinda.